Hello and welcome to the Bridgetown Daily for February 19th. My name is Matthew Zigenis. Do you remember the last time God spoke to you? Do you remember the last time you felt like your soul was encouraged, or you felt loved or close to God? Or maybe the last time you felt like a prayer was answered, or something came to pass that you've been waiting for or hoping for. I want to invite you to take a moment to bring to your mind, to practice the discipline of simply remembering the ways God's been faithful, the ways He's been kind, the ways He's been good. One of the many reasons it's so important for us to remember who God is because it fuels our faith for the present, and it points us towards the future, trusting and knowing that God is who He was. He never changes. He's faithful. He's loving. He's kind. This is probably why at the end of the Pentateuch, Deuteronomy, we have Moses telling the children of Israel, don't forget who God is. He delivered you out of Egypt. He parted the Red Sea. He fed you in the desert. He brought you out of slavery. Don't forget who God is. Remember Him. Here's an analogy that was shared a few weeks back by John Tyson that really stuck out to me, that spoke to my own heart.
Lawrence Kushner tells a story about our lack of awareness. And it tells a story about two Israelites, Yvonne and Shimon, who had different experiences than everybody else during the Exodus. Apparently the bottom of the sea, though safe to walk on, this is when God's parting the sea, it wasn't completely dry, but it was a little bit muddy, like a beach at low tide. And so Yvonne stepped into it and he curls his lip. What is this muck? Shimon scowled. There's mud all over the place. This is just like the slime pits of Egypt, replied Yvonne. What's the difference, complained Shimon. Mud here, mud there, it's all the same. And so it went on for the two of them, grumbling all the way across the bottom of the sea. And because they never once looked up, they never understood why on the distant shore everyone else was singing songs of praise. For Reuben and Shimon, the miracle never happened. They missed the miracle because they weren't paying attention. They never lifted their eyes because they were so familiar with the conditions around them.
So I just encourage you today, wherever you're at, pay attention to the way God is moving in your life. And look back in the past, pay attention to where He has moved. Because if we're not careful, we'll miss out on the miracles all around us. For me personally, as I sit down and reflect over the past year, it's easy to get discouraged or to think to myself, what a terrible year. But on the other hand, God's been so faithful, so present. I have a community of people I've walked through the past year with that love me, that are there for me. I have a new daughter coming into the world. My family and I, we bought a house for the first time. There's so many evidences of God's goodness and kindness all over my life. If I'm not careful, I'll miss out on those. But when I think about my Bridgetown family, there's been so many beautiful seasons that we've been through over the past several years. I look back several years to when we went through the Holy Spirit series together. Our church grew in our awareness of who God is, how present He is with us. We saw people healed. We saw people prophesied over, so many beautiful things. Or I look back, I remember when we went through a series on fighting the world, the flesh, and the devil, spiritual warfare stuff, and our church grew in our awareness of God as we worship together in the room, and what that does, how it changes reality, it changes the atmosphere around us. I remember God's faithfulness in those seasons. I also remember how God has provided a home for us. We have a building now, we have a space that's beautiful, that's ready to be filled with people. I remember how God provided that for us. His goodness, His kindness, His faithfulness is all around us if we'll look at it, if we'll take it in, if we'll remember the ways He's been present with us. So as I share this song with you guys, I just invite you to pray this simple prayer. As the melodies play, as the music plays, God, would You remind me where You've moved in my life? Help me to see You in the past. Help me to see You in the present.
Shines forever. The darkness cannot overcome. You are the one who goes before me, the one is all around. You are holding back the waters, stretching out the ground beneath my feet. You're here with me. Wake up my soul. Remember all he's done for you. Remember he's not done with you. You are the presence of the Father, the perfect image of his love. You have opened up a table to break the bread of heaven here and now. You tore down the wall between us, and now you're closer than the air I breathe. And you're here with me. Wake up my soul. Remember all he's done for you. Remember he's not done with you. You are God, my rock, all my hope is found in you. I will lift my eyes, for my help it comes from you. You are God, my rock, all my hope is found in you. I will lift my eyes, for my help it comes from you. Wake up my soul. Wake up my soul. Wake up my soul. Wake up my soul. You are holding back the waters, stretching out the ground beneath my feet. You're here with me. So wake up my soul.